Imagine embarking on an unforgettable journey through the heart of Italy, where every turn is a new treasure and every moment is filled with beauty and culture. You start your adventure in Rome, the eternal city. Next, you venture into the rolling hills of Tuscany, where the air is perfumed with the scent of vineyards and olive grove. The journey continues to Venice, the floating city of canals and gondolas, after Five Earth and Milan. But your Italian adventure doesn't end on land. It's about to get even more extraordinary. A magical journey through Italy, topped off with a house music festival on Costa Cruise. Dance under the stars, relax in style, and discover exclusive performances on deck, all while sailing to some of the most beautiful destinations. There are 3 packages to choose from. Sailing dates are from September 24th through the 28th, 2025. Book yours now at festivaloncruise.com.
Hi, everybody. It's your Queen Bee, Heidi B, and welcome to the third episode of Heidi's House. And today, our featured guest is amazing Just Martina. She is an Oslo based DJ and music producer. She is originating from Croatia, where she has been performed and being a resident in many prestigious clubs. She's been touring all over Europe, and she has been releasing really highly recognized music, whether it's her own productions or remixes. And I am glad to call her one of my friends as well. So I'm super psyched and excited to have her joining in. But let's not waste more time. Let the lady tell more. So are you ready? Let's go. So here she is, straight from Oslo. Just Martina. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi,
Woohoo!
Queen. Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining and being a part of this podcast and this journey. I'm so happy that you are supporting this, and you're always so beautiful. You have been supporting me like in many different ways for a long time, and I'm just grateful to have you being one of my friends here in the music business, and you know to share this moment also with you. So it's beautiful. So thank you
The
so
same,
much.
the same. I want to congratulate you on the podcast, and also, I think when people with similar energies meet, it's just natural that they become colleagues and friends. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, likewise. So how is Oslo today?
It's quite cold and slippery. It's a lot of ice, so yeah, it's kind of difficult to move around, but we're used to that here, so not complaining. I heard Canada is really, really bad, so we
Yeah.
still have some sunshine here, which is good.
Yeah, same here. I feel you. It's every day
Yeah,
like a struggle to move.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything takes time, so yeah, but that's the life until May, and then we are happy.
Yeah, then we have, we can we
Blossoming,
can
yeah.
yes. Hey, all right. Let's continue actually to our interview straight ahead because you are our guest featured artist here today. And therefore, I'm gonna just, start with the first question for those people who might not know yet. Tell us a bit about who is Just Martina.
Uh, just Martina is a result of my many transformations. I've been in the music business for 14 years now, and I kind of went through a lot of phases as one do. So I started in Zagreb, in Croatia, where I'm originally from, and I did a very successful club night in one of the biggest clubs there. And I did this professionally until I got married and pregnant, and then I took a break for 5 years.
Mhm.
and then I just felt it's time to kind of come back.
Yeah,
Uh, it never leaves you. You just, if you love it, it's always kind of there in the background.
that's the
Uh,
thing.
that's how it was for me. As I spoke to one of my friends, I kind of defined this relationship between me and music like a toxic ex. You always come back, but you kind of know that it's maybe not healthy, but then again, you just keep on coming back because you can't stay away.
Mhm.
So that's how it's been for me in a way. Just Also coming from a musical family, it's just a way how I express and deal and heal.
Yes.
So it's very important part of my life. But then now 5 years ago, I came back and everything kind of started with just doing one mix for my dear friend Kono Vidovic for his radio show in Amsterdam. And then suddenly everything just started to happen very quickly. And I started to make music and release music. And yeah, just playing bigger venues. Now I'm playing outside of Norway as well. I'm playing in London. I'm gonna play in Germany as well, and a lot of releases upcoming. So I'm very happy and grateful.
I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy and grateful for you too. And when we talked about the similar energy, we have so much similarities in our stories. We never shared about this, but I also had exactly 5 years break when getting married and having my kid, and then when my daughter was 5 years old, then I don't know, I just had to, it's that exactly that calling or I don't know, temptation or
Yeah,
toxicity or whatever we call it, but it's just like you just have to.
yeah,
Yeah, you have to do your thing. It is like like this. And I've been following, all your success, whether it's your music producing or your residencies and you now touring all around Europe, and it makes me super proud, and it's kind of motivating things for women who have a little bit similar, um, let's say background or life situation. It's really motivating actually when you see one of your fellow queens to do something and grow and just expand.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
the thing.
it's quite. I don't want it to sound overly romantic. It's quite difficult to kind of maintain the schedule and do
True.
everything that you need to do.
Mhm.
Uh, but the message is you can do it. Like your life doesn't stop. You can always chase your dreams
Absolutely.
if you are kind of persistent enough. So if you're focused and motivated and believe in your dream, things do slowly happen and you meet the right people
Mhm.
who are going to push you into the right direction or just kind of motivate you to stay focused.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of happened to me as I was slowly progressing. All these people came and just supported me mentally
Mhm.
on my path, and then it kind of happens quicker because no, I mean, this is an industry where you cannot make it on your own, and you need to kind of accept that.
True.
So when people recognize the talent and the gift, it means a lot when they push you.
Yes. And people have been recognizing your talent. I'm also super happy for you. You have been receiving several nominations, for instance, in a producer category at the OGV Music Awards, and it's like it, you can see, when I observe you, I can see great things already happening to you, and it's kind of like at the same time I understand it, being in a fellow artist, that some things that tend to kind of happen organically when you network, and then it kind of the growth happens start to happen,
Yeah.
and so on. So
I
it
mean,
is a
I
journey.
was very blessed to be nominated this year, even though I just had one release this year, and it was towards the end of the year. It was for quite a big label called Club Sweat, but still to be nominated just with one release and to be recognized for your efforts because I'm working on my music on a daily basis and I love to share my stories with the people in a intention to motivate them. Not everything needs to be released or charted or be top 10, but it's about the journey and the path. So if you work constantly on your talent or your
Mm.
passion, then results come eventually. So that was my goal, and I think people recognized that and nominated me, even with one release, which was kind of honestly, I was very surprised this year to be nominated again. So it was very nice.
It's beautiful, and it tells that you have a solid group of or solid growing group of people supporting your work. I think
Yeah,
that's also a big message because it comes, the nominations come straight from the publicum themselves, people who listen to
yeah,
music. That's
yeah.
amazing. I'm so happy for you about that. All right. Would you like to share something more about your story, or shall we continue to our amazing question number 2?
Well, I just wanted to kind of take a second to thank everybody who has been involved in my journey so far, and it's been a lot of people in the backgrounds kind of really cheering me on.
Mhm.
And I think just now is a good opportunity. They know who they are, so I just wanted to say thank you.
Beautiful. All right. So now let's go back to that 14 years or more. I believe it's a little bit longer history related to this
Yeah.
question, but what originally got you to house music? What would you say?
Oh my God.
I
It's
know
such a
that's
good
bad.
story. My dad, my late father, was a really, really successful musician back in Yugoslavia, and he was a recording artist and a guitar player and a vocalist. But he was a rocker. So my entire life, he was exposing me to really quality music. But in my teenage years, I was kind of rebelling and I was like, oh, dad, you don't understand this. This is cool. So I just started to kind of listen to electronic music because he was irritated. He was saying like, this is not music. It has one beat. It doesn't have any instruments inside. It's just the same repetitive sound kind of going around. So it was a clash of generations in a way. And I was really kind of interested in those sounds and exploring that. And that kind of evolved into my biggest love today, besides my daughter, and that is making that music and kind of living from that music. So yeah, that's how it happened in a
That's
way.
how it happened. um, Now, if you think about the artists, since you are talking about the house music and rock music that your father was doing and performing and making, uh, what would you say? And this can be now in any genre for that matter. It doesn't need to be house, but what would you say? What are the artists that have influenced you most?
Oh, there are so many because thanks to my dad, I'm very versatile in music. So I personally listen to kind of all genres of music. But I don't know, like when I was a kid, I was listening to a lot of soul and rock and roll and blues and that type of things. And then I kind of progressed into electronic music. So if I would name a few that kind of influenced me um, in this kind of transition phase, would be definitely Frankie Knuckles. It would be the early shapeshifters, kind of then shifting me into this more commercial sound and kind of exploring that side.
Yeah,
Uh, and then Trent Moller would be one of them as well. I love their music, so that's a big thing for me. Um, and then I really love when I go into my dark side. I really love Pink Floyd, Jimi
me.
Hendrix. I kind of enjoy those like slightly psychedelic moments as well. So yeah, those are a few that I would mention.
I would say that I see your dad's influence there on that
Yeah,
rock side clearly. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
It's beautiful, and I always believe that there's like somehow like good music is always good music. It doesn't need to, be any particular music. Like sometimes people ask me what kind of music you listen. I'm just saying I'm listening music that sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's it. You don't need to define, but there are particular artists that really like touch core somehow. And I would say the Frankie Knuckles is also for me one of those. And I love early shapeshifters. I was
Yeah.
really wild about Lola's theme. I remember.
Yeah, that was the tune. Like I had the pleasure of playing with them a lot of times, and I also had an interview with Max from Shapeshifters on the Only Good Vibes podcast, and like in that phase when I started to listen to that music, I could never imagine myself like being colleagues with those people, and it was
Yeah,
all a blur. And then like a couple of years later, fast forward, I was like playing with them a lot in Zagreb, and just it's a nice thing when those things kind of combine into a story. It's
yeah,
very nice memories.
yes.
Mm.
It's beautiful, and that makes it so exciting because you never know when you keep doing your thing, and then it just evolves and things start to happen, and you find yourself in the spots where you're like, wait a second, how this that happened, but it's all that work, of course, and that passion and that input and investment on what you do, even on those situations when you don't really see where the road is going to take you to, but then you find yourself in those beautiful spots and you can kind of
Yeah,
reflect how
I
far did
believe.
you go.
Yeah, I heavily believe in kind of manifesting your own faith in a way. And so, I was like always listening to that music and projecting like, oh, one day I'm gonna be on a big stage and it's gonna happen. And then suddenly it did. Then I was like traveling a lot and playing on Zrče, like this is like a Croatian Ibiza island where all the festivals are held. And, it kind of I don't know, I never took the moment to stop and think about it, but now when I'm reflecting on everything that I did in those 13, 14 years that I've been in the business, like it's a lot of nice memories,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
Mm.
beautiful. All right, let's continue on our next question. I sent you this question already in advance, but I would love, I know what is the answer to this as well, but I would love you to name top three of your favorite house music tracks.
Ooh, I think it's gonna be, well, we spoke about it, Lola's Team, definitely. It's
Mm.
one that is very dear and close to my heart for numerous reasons. And then it would be Your Love from Frankie Knuckles. And I think I would then say it would be the Trent Muller remix of Moan. Uh, that is one of my like go-to songs
Mm.
uh, when I'm heartbroken. So I love that one. I love it.
Yeah, there are those certain songs like for us musicians, artists, I have noticed that most of us we have those go-to particular songs, and I would say also you describe it so well that it's like particular moods, particular moments, particular songs,
Yes.
situations. So we live and breathe that. So beautiful choices there.
Mm.
All right. Um, Now I'm gonna ask another question, which might be a little bit hard, and I think it might be a little bit unfair, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Because
Okay.
I know if somebody asks this from me, I'm like, but still I feel that I could give some kind of answer. So which one of your own tracks is somehow, a bit more special to you? Can you kind of, or maybe has some kind of special story behind it that somehow is very close to you?
I would say so. I kind of went from new disco now to tech house vibes, but I'm still making new disco as well. So I would say from the earlier phases, Feels Good. That's my that song will be forever in my heart, and especially because of how it was released and the whole story behind that. So I think it was just kind of a faith moment that played into that song ever being made and released. And then one of my recent releases, my remix of a young producer called Nala and her track Growth. So that track is the last track that my dad heard before he passed away, and just his feedback on the track and how he was proud of me. And going back to the story where we didn't really see eye to eye with the music in a way, that track will be forever in my heart as well. So
Yeah.
I would say those two.
Isn't it interesting that when you go back to that youth story and then it's like the full circle somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I understand it totally. And it's an amazing track. Both of them are. All right, let's continue to next one. You already told a little bit about your history in house music, in DJing, and in music production. But if you had to choose so far in your career and in this journey, what would be your highlight moments? Which one stand out most?
Hmm. That's a difficult question because I kind of take my career in layers.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of big moments when I look back, a lot of big gigs and a lot of festivals that I played. And, and then I take the music production as well into account.
Yeah.
And a lot of moments that happened with colleagues, kind of working in the studio and just some feedback and stuff like that. But I would say maybe one of the most recent events that kind of really made an impact on me. There's a little club here in Oslo called Skaugum, and
Yeah,
you know that one, yeah.
I know. I
So
love
I
it.
played there recently, and it's one of the best clubs in Oslo, actually. And I played on a Wednesday, and that particular Wednesday that I played, and this was in November last year.
Okay.
It was just such a magical evening. I don't know. I felt so inspired, and everything was kind of flowing from me, and it was just great. And there was a lot of colleagues from the industry, and that was kind of my mark moment of kind of putting myself out there again and kind of proving to myself, okay, I can still do club. Okay, I'm still okay with this, even though I didn't do it for quite a while. So I would say that that's one of my biggest, or not biggest, but I would say most impactful moments
Hmm.
since I came back to music. But before that, there was so many. I mean,
Yeah.
just meeting all the producers and people I played with, and it's a big, really extensive list of names. Every time I learned something new, and it was very nice. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment that you also describe, and I understand this is a tricky question, and I kind of get that really that you can think the carry in a phases or layers or however we would kind of try to describe it, but there are kind of certain kind of timelines and particular sections of time, and then within those you have those special moments. But I'm just happy that you decided to come back and couldn't resist that. And
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward so much more, to hear and see, where your journey is gonna take you to. And I have three more, or actually two more questions. Um, and one is um, also quite interesting. What do you see? What is your personal contribution to the house music community, if you think about it?
Well, I'm quite an open and honest and straightforward person, and that is like a main trait of Balkan people because I do come from the Balkans. So I feel like I'm a huge advocate for not only women in the music business, but I kind of see myself as an advocate for single moms, for moms in general, for eccentric artists, everything that is not okay to be in the Balkans, because when I lived home, it was quite impossible for people to imagine that a mother would be involved in DJing or in music production. Everything is kind of very still male dominated there, and so I'm trying to always advocate for women in general to kind of chase their dreams, and because it's kind of more natural for a woman to be with the child, but then again it doesn't mean that now you need to kind of let everything go. For me, it's
Yeah.
like you need to be able to at some point balance your home life and then your passion and your career. So I'm trying to motivate women into doing that on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And I agree with you, not 100, but 1000%. And I think that, by doing that, we are showing that, it is possible to really, work it out one way or the other so that you don't need to leave that side of you away, when you form a family or you become a mother or so on. But, eh, you really don't need to leave that part of your self away, but you can still keep building it. And we encourage other women to do that, and I think we are giving also a great example to our daughters,
Yeah, I think
of
so as
doing
well.
that. So that's a beautiful, beautiful contribution, and your beautiful productions and your beautiful music itself. All right, then we are gonna continue to the last question. Share a bit about your current or upcoming projects. You don't, if something is secret, but what's going on or gonna happen,
I
now.
have a track signed that I need to mix to the end and send to the record label, and it's going to be released this year. It's called Backroom, and it's going to go out on Seshling Records. That's an American small, kind of very artistic label. And I fell in love with their designs and just the way they hand make all the covers for their artists. So it's very kind of in line with who I am, just the way they express art through all kind of phases, not just the music, but it's also very focused on the design of the release as well. So I'm very happy about that. And also, I'm making a remix that I'm gonna enter on a competition for to be released on Drum Code. So I'm finishing up this actually this week, and hopefully it's gonna make some noise and maybe
It's
be
gonna
really.
make some noise.
Already gotten a lot of feedback. I sent it to a couple of colleagues, and they have been very, very positive and really nice feedback. So I'm very happy with that one. And even if it doesn't get released, I'm just gonna give it on downloads because I really believe it's a good track. And yeah, working on my just well, in my own pace. Like I don't have this number of tracks that I need to release. But yeah, I also have one collaboration coming soon as well with a very famous producer called Simon Field. And we made a track together recently in his studio. So I'm very excited about that. We're gonna see where we're gonna send that one, but it's a cool, cool track as well. So a lot of things happening.
A lot of things happening. So people, remember this and stay tuned for all that beautiful material that we are looking forward from just Martina, and obviously not only new releases but also upcoming gigs all around
Yeah,
the
that's
world.
happening as well. Playing in London on 1st of March, and I have some mixes that I need to make for some radio shows, and yeah, it's a lot of work to be done still. So hopefully that's gonna happen very soon. And towards the end of the year, I'm doing a very, very big event in Oslo, but I kind of want to keep that low key for now. Gonna let you know when that
Yes,
happens.
yes,
And
wonderful. And I look forward to see you live again. You are amazing person, amazing DJ, amazing party, amazing energy on those events where you perform. So I personally look forward to do that sometimes, hopefully during this year again.
yes, yes.
And now it's time to finish this special episode with you. Again, I'm super, super, super grateful that you took your time and effort to join us and share with us about you, your artist profile, and history and present, and a little bit about future as well. So I'm super, super, super grateful. And now, if somebody wants to know more about you or find you from social media, where they can find you.
Well, the best thing would be maybe to go on Instagram. So it's justmartina.insta is my Instagram. I'm quite active there and sharing all of my stories, all of my fun moments while producing. So that would be a good place to look for me.
Check it out, people. Check it out. And again, I thank you. I send you much blessings and love straight away from here, from Heidi's house to your house.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Thank you.
Most welcome, and I wish you a good evening. We both have, that evening time here already, and we'll just, somehow manage during these darker times, and soon it will be spring, and
Yes,
woohoo!
we can't wait.
Yes. So take care, and lot of love and blessings to you and to your family and to your beautiful daughter as well. And
Thank you. Yours as well. Thank you, Heidi.
thank you. So bye bye. And after this, we are gonna hear the mini mix where we have some of her tracks included. So let's go.